We are here today to talk about one of my favorite trees to grow, and that is the miracle fruit. Miracle fruit is a slow-growing bushy shrub native to Ghana in Western Africa, and the fruit has the amazing ability to enhance the flavor of some foods and mask the undesirable flavors of others. It's probably most popular for making lemons taste like lemonade, but it has a much more practical and a much more valuable application for chemotherapy patients. Some patients after a treatment experience an overwhelming metallic flavor that makes them so nauseous they develop an aversion to eating altogether, and that leads to unwanted weight loss. The miracle fruit has the ability to completely mask that metallic taste a cancer patient experiences, thereby eliminating all of those unwanted side effects of chemotherapy. Amazing that one little fruit can enhance the quality of life of a cancer patient, isn't it?
They are really special plants and one of the few tropical fruits that can be grown successfully in all 50 states.
In this webisode, we're going to discuss growing miracle fruit in both warm and more temperate climates, so you can grow them successfully whether you're in Miami, Florida or Miami, Ohio. To do this, we must first illustrate their habits, tendencies, and sensitivities.
Miracle fruit are in the Sapotaceae family. They share this family with some other popular tropical fruits like mamey, sapodilla, and canistel. A characteristic of this family is leaves that cluster at the tips of the branches, and the flowering and therefore the fruiting occurs on the older growth, like you see here. This is in contrast to trees that flower and fruit from the tips of the branches or the new growth, like mango, avocado, and lychee. This is a very important fact to note because it identifies what the finish line looks like. And now that we know what we are striving for, we can go back to the starting line with a good sense of direction. Growing miracle fruit plants is like running a marathon because it is a long, steady challenge that will test your endurance as a grower. They are not easy to grow, they just aren't. They take persistence, dedication, and above all, patience. So you want to make sure you get started on the right foot. And that is lesson number 1. Start with good stock. Miracle fruit plants are best grown from cuttings and not from seeds. Plants from seed are weak, they lack vigor, and they take a long time to mature. Plants from cuttings are hardy, vigorous, and are instantly mature. They are best grown in pots, and it is best to use a potting media with Canadian peat and perlite that has a pH around 6.0. Incorporate a high-quality, controlled-release fertilizer with a balanced formula for best results. The soil should be kept moist, but remain well-drained and the plant placed in a location with filtered light.
We now have a good start off the line running our marathon, and we just need to maintain a good pace. Miracle fruit are naturally very slow-growing plants, and that's what causes most people trouble. They try to push them along and make them grow too fast, and the plants can't handle it. Or the plants begin to decline due to neglect, and they're very, very slow to recover. That brings us to lesson number 2. Stay the course and don't panic.
It is important to trust the plant material. Your potting media and the fertilizer are good because they were good when you started. Do not panic because your plant has not grown a foot or even an inch in the first couple of months, and repot it or add fertilizer. Adding supplements to your miracle fruit plant out of frustration over the pace of growth or lack of fruit is almost certain to cause more harm than good. Even if they are quality supplement products, miracle fruit are sensitive to abrupt, dramatic changes.
And that leads us right into lesson number 3. Patience, patience, patience. Healthy plants will fruit sporadically throughout the year. It is your job to make sure the plant is healthy and in the right condition so Mother Nature can take over the rest. Don't be discouraged if every flower doesn't make a fruit, because that is simply the nature of the plants.
Your job while patiently waiting for the plant to fruit is to make sure the leaves are dark green and there are no signs of nutritional deficiency. The plant should also be pest-free, which should be easy because they are not prone to infestations. If you do have some insect pressure, try soap and water. It's perfectly safe and rather effective on most insects that miracle fruit can host. Watering the plant as needed is essential to good plant health. The soil should be moist at all times and well drained. This is easy to achieve when the plant is in the right size container. A rule of thumb you can follow is that your miracle fruit plant should be twice as tall as the container it is in before transplanting it to a larger pot size. A small plant in a big pot stays too wet. By the same token, a large plant in a small pot stays too dry. If you are doing your job by keeping the plant in good health, keeping pests off, and watering, then you will soon harvest the fruits of your labor. Because they make such great container plants and fruit prolifically at such a small size, they can be grown using those techniques no matter where you live. That being said, they are tropical and need to be protected from freezing temperatures. So when it does freeze in Miami, Ohio, just simply bring the plant inside and put by a sunny window. Ideally, they are best grown on a patio and not as an indoor plant, but they can be wintered over inside and will still fruit.
Miracle fruit are surprisingly versatile plants in that regard, and they're incredibly useful as well. That's what makes them one of my favorites. They may not be the easiest plants on earth to grow, but I promise you the juice is worth the squeeze.